Like, you don't like the taste of dog food?
Nobody likes the taste of dog
You're
food.
insane. No.
Cody.
I don't do it anymore.
The name's One, Volume 1, the anime and manga podcast where we review the first volume of a brand new manga each week. My name is Agent Michaels, a.k.a. code name
You don't
the
get
Magician.
two. You don't get two names. One or the other. You don't get to have two.
And today I'm joined by my other agents.
Megan Bomperine.
Ooh.
Cody the dog Decker.
Fitting, very fitting. Welcome to another volume done, ish. We're going to be covering, this is our part 2 Spy X Family volume done. We're going to be covering volumes 2 through 4, chapters 6 through 23. That is including a couple bonus missions towards the end. This is probably where we're going to leave this video for now, just because after this isn't really anything I think worth doing a full episode on. So we're going to let some chapters build and consider this a little treat in the interim.
A doggy
Speaking
treat.
of spying
Yeah.
on your
Oh,
family,
what?
I listened to the last Spy X Family episode, and you guys talked about a lot of what happens in Volume 2. Now, call me crazy, or maybe I'm wrong, but is this podcast called Volume 2? Is my name Volume 2, John?
Okay, well, no, that'd be pretty cool though. I like it. I like
It's
that
like
name.
her evil sister.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry that we got a little excited, Volume 1, Chan. I almost called you Volume 2, Chan. I'm very sorry.
She's gonna kill you.
We liked talking about it, and it kept being a thing of like, well,
We got carried away.
also in volume 2, and it just kept happening.
Yeah, we got carried away. We got
Yeah,
a
and
little
it was
too
a
happy.
redone, so I wanted to cover a little bit more than we covered in the first episode, okay? Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna, I guess then we should just breeze through Volume 2, since we did cover it a lot in Part 1, and if you haven't seen Part 1, you can click up here somewhere to go watch that. But, I guess where we left off last time was basically where Yor's brother, Yuri, comes over for dinner, or to meet Lloyd, the Forgers, because it's kind of just been brought to his attention that his sister is all of a sudden married out of nowhere.
And he's super excited, and I thought, like, this will be a nice relationship, and it gets really weird really fast.
Again, I gotta say, like, for me, I mean, we're gonna be talking about volumes 2 through 4. I have to say, I really did like this volume a lot. Their relationship, it does get weird, but it is very funny. I will, however, spoiler alert, say that my absolute favorite volume is volume 4 out of all these.
That's
yeah.
when
Volume 4
becomes,
solid.
Yeah.
This story is like kicking up now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we've kind of already been introduced to everybody. The world's built. Now let's just play in the sandbox. Let's have fun. But I thought this was really fun too. The dynamic, I kind of saw, heading down this road, but man, I loved every single minute of it. It did get weird though, just because of how protective of Yor he was.
It was beyond protective.
Yeah, he's yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say romantic, but borderline obsessive.
Well, not borderline obsessive. He like tackles.
That's true.
Lloyd
But
when she almost kisses her husband. He's like, no. For me, it's like, oh, I thought it was good because he remembers like sounding like, I'm gonna marry you someday. I'm like, oh, okay, it's like a cute little thing a kid said. But no, he's still like, she was gonna save herself for me. I'm like, oh.
I still think it's played very wholesome and
Everyone
very cute.
reacts to it very like it was a very like normal thing of him being like, I don't trust that guy. But he tackled him to stop him from getting kissed by his sister.
I mean, that's an overprotective brother.
It wasn't protective. It was jealous. That's the thing. That's what made it.
It was a bit of jealousy,
All he had was Yor growing
that's
up.
yeah, and I think her moving on because she hasn't like obviously found anyone ever, and she never like dated. Like her now that she's married, he's just like,
Yeah.
this is actually real.
Well, yeah,
like this is actually happening. Like no.
Well,
Yeah.
now yours no longer yours.
Oh, good one.
Ooh. She's Yuri's.
Oh.
Yeah, that works. Right?
I still think it was cute. It was fun. I didn't at any point recoil like, oh my gosh, this is too much.
Same.
I
yeah.
thought it was very funny. And again, the character design, the art, everything about reading this story, maybe that's it too, that the way it's kind of drawn and the way the world is designed, like I can't be turned off by anything that happens in this series because it's just so damn cute.
It
man.
just felt really out of place for how, like, because it's not like that's a recurring aspect of that universe. It's just his brother actively wants to marry his sister, and they are now adults.
I wouldn't say marry now.
Okay,
I would just say
because they flash back to him as a child, where he says,
okay, he's
that.
a child, but he doesn't want to marry her.
But then they cut to him as an adult, and he is still thinking that. So if they just flash back to him as a child, I would be on board for like, yeah, it was like, it was just like, why, like it felt outside of that universe where everything normally is like pretty like plain, but it is like, it is beyond protective. It is straight up jealousy.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, dude. Maybe he's got some issues, okay?
He for sure has issues.
Yeah, he for
well,
sure
you guys
has
have
issues.
sisters, right?
Yeah. And to be 100% honest, dude, never really cared who she dated, to be honest, because I trust her judgment.
And to be honest, my family, they're all like us, so we don't really date people. So my entire family, she dated a guy and she's married now. So that's how my family kind of just works. You find one person, you're like, I guess we'll. I mean, if we get along now, there's not really.
I think
just how it works.
Even though there might be a hint of jealousy there, and their family's a little fucked up, Yor kills people for God's sake, and Yuri tortures people. So I mean, like, they're fucked up.
They're a little fucked up.
So it makes sense that he would maybe have harbored a little bit of more than just sibling affection for his sister. But hey, as long as he keeps his hands off of her, I'm not here to judge. Not Yuri, at least. I'll judge you if you like feel that way about your sister. In the real world.
Yeah, Orimo.
Yeah. Whoa. Who's that?
Orimo. Oh, it's an anime about
never
like
seen
a little sister and like a brother.
I have heard of it though.
Orimo, and then like obviously Eromanga Sensei. There's a lot of cis-con shit going on in anime, but this was not that bad. It really wasn't that bad. I've seen worse.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't etsy. That's not what. It was just out of place for what this series did, and it wasn't awful. I was just like, oh, okay. And the second that scene is over, and then the way they act, they treat it like it was like he was just like, oh, he's overprotective. They act like he didn't do what he just did, and he didn't say the things out loud that he said out loud. It was like, okay, so his brother like met his wife, and then they move on.
Yeah, I think it's like I said, it's played for comedy. It's in the rules of that's the rules of this world, right? The things that are played and exaggerated for the sake of a joke aren't taken very literally. We talked about that on a previous episode where the rules of that world kind of played that way, right? Where it's like if something happens for a joke, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like everybody's taking it super literal. It's just being portrayed that way for a reaction from the audience, which is laughter. Cody, ever experienced it?
Sometimes. Not when I'm around you. When you're on your, not when I go to your shows.
Okay.
How about that, huh?
Wow.
Now let's move on.
Doesn't feel good. But what we also learn in this interaction, which I think is really cool, is that Yuri is looking for Twilight. We learn this because he's like torturing a guy before he comes to dinner. And that
where he reveals very personal information about his life that like I don't think you should tell.
Again, you're just nitpicking comedy now, dude.
No, like
you're the comedy police, dude.
It's just
woo.
This isn't a straight up.
Put your hands up in the air. This is the comedy police.
A lot of it is though.
We have a helicopter above you. Please do not make any sudden moves.
It's a thing of like
no laughing.
To have an interrogator give like his personal information, like I don't know if you should do that, man.
I mean, it's
again,
it's funny.
You're acting like I'm like saying this is a bad manga. I'm just saying like that was weird. The stuff with his brother out of place for the rest of the story.
I thought it was pretty cool because he's like, hey, I got a dinner to go get to. I got to go meet my sister's husband. Can you believe that? She didn't tell me she got married, and then he tortures a guy. Hilarious. I'm not gonna be hung up on like
funny.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
You can enjoy something and still like find criticisms in it.
Sure. Yeah, but I choose to
mindlessly consume. Yeah,
No.
I know you're all about that.
No, is that another fat thing that you're saying about me right now? That I mindlessly consume? You know, I have body dysmorphia, dude.
No, that you'd have body dysmorphia if you were wrong.
Oh my god!
You have,
Oh my
You have body observation.
Josh, you're not fat.
Okay, now we gotta move on, dude. Now we gotta move on.
God damn, that was a
getting hot in
fucking
here, dude.
stinger. Anyway, in this fucking volume, we see Anya and Yor get closer together. She almost gets kidnapped, and then Yor comes in to save the day, and that was very cute. And they had a moment before then. She was just like, "You can't really do anything. You're not really my favorite." And she's like, "Oh."
See, I didn't even take that
okay.
like that either.
Oh, I just felt like Twilight was just better. She liked Twilight better than she
I don't
did
think
her.
so.
Well, that's why, because this is part of it not being a pure comedy is like it was showing like Yuri is like the stepmother of the thing.
Yor.
Mhm.
Yor
Yeah.
is the stepmother of the relationship, and yeah, she doesn't know how to cook or do any of that stuff.
But Anya is really stoked that she's her mom because she can read her mind, obviously, and knows she's an assassin. And she's like, "Oh, my mom's an assassin. My dad's a spy." Like, she loves Yor. And I think that's her way of communicating. She's blunt and she's a child, so she doesn't have nuance to anything she says. She's just like, "You can't cook."
I wouldn't say she's like mocking her and like completely doesn't like her, but this moment like made her like closer to Yor. Like they have training that they do now together. Like, oh, you teach me how to fight and do this. Like, not fight. She's like, oh, I learned up this stuff in this other class, and she's just making stuff up to like make herself like not look like a fucking deadly assassin.
Yeah.
But I think that was cute. Like, because you've seen her and Twilight have like bonding moments, but not necessarily Yor yet, and this was like the first start of that.
Yeah, I'll say it was more that. It felt like more of a bonding moment than like her coming around to liking Yor.
No,
Yeah.
more of that.
Yeah, no, you are just against anything.
I'm sorry that I'm allowed to have my own opinion,
You
dude.
see?
And I'm sorry I'm not just
you
going to
were
sit
you
here.
were on board for it, but then you saw what that was like.
And I'm not going to sit here and just agree
Now that you have a vest, bitch,
with everybody.
you're gonna just
Because I look like I'm going to
you
go
look-
park some
No,
cards.
you look like you're about to deal some cards.
You do.
Is that supposed to be an insult? Because that's a
Park
compliment
cards
in my
and deal
world.
cards.
And then you'd constantly be like, "Did you know I've YouTubed magic tricks before?" And people would be like, "Oh, that's crazy."
I was doing
Oh.
magic before you could just look them up on YouTube, okay? I had to wait for physical copies of DVDs to come in the mail, dude. So, thank you. And this is what
Showing
it
your
feels
age.
like.
Showing your age.
And this is what it feels like when a trick goes as planned. Yeah.
Almost
this is,
as-
this is where I bow.
Almost
We'll
as
go
well
with that.
planned as Lloyd's going to the zoo.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Okay, so yeah, every volume has 1 to 2 like bonus stories at the very end. This one at the end of volume 2 was, yes, the penguin exhibit short story bonus.
Which was so cute. I even wrote here about that shit. Is it on this one? Oh, it was okay. His extra mission was published as a one-shot designed to introduce a series to people who weren't familiar with the story. And during the time, it was like summary, so they decided to go with something more summary for the thing. And I was like, oh,
Out of all the bonus stories, this is my absolute favorite one.
agreed.
What I was
This one
surprised
so
by
good.
is none of the bonuses felt like out of place. Usually bonuses are kind of like here's what they would do if they like went to a grocery store where normally they fight people. The bonuses just felt like another chapter. They
an
didn't,
outing. It was
Yeah.
just an outing.
which
Yeah.
is like that's kind of how the chapters go. So
Part of me almost like, I don't know if it was because it was a nice just sort of escape from the larger Operation Strix that they're, so, wrapped up in. This felt like it was getting away from that. I really enjoyed just seeing them in that setting. I thought it was a really fun story, and it cut right to the chase. It put everybody in the roles that we know them to be in. It's not like, because it's designed as a one shot, it's not reintroducing anybody or building up the world again. It's just like, here are these people. Let's get right to it. Lloyd over here, his neighbor's talking shit about him because he never does anything with his family. And he's like, I got to be a normal dad. Let's plan a trip. And then, hijinks ensue, but in the best way. It's so adorable.
and I love how bystanders are just constantly telling Yor that Lloyd is cheating on her.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
so
no.
funny.
There's like a moment in the manga where like your friends are they're not good friends. They just talk shit on you. That's all they do. That's all they do. They're horrible.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with better people. You're better than that.
Well, this is coming from the neighbors, but yeah, her coworkers.
Her coworkers.
Mhm.
But that comes in, I think, volume 3 when she's when Lloyd finds out that
Yeah.
her brother works for the SSS and then has to question her.
Oh,
yeah,
which
they're
is
fucking
awesome.
terrible.
But yeah, they're awful. It just goes back to that. It's like everyone's just an asshole in this world. Everyone just talks shit all the time.
Yeah, I'll say
Doesn't
this
mind their own
was-
fucking business.
This was actually tied for my second favorite, and I wonder if I feel like me and Megan might have the same favorite bonus. story, but I'm not going to say what it is yet. But this was now that I'm thinking about it, this might be my second favorite bonus story compared to the one that happens, I think, at the end of volume 3. But anyway, these bonus stories are awesome. I love them equally as much as the story. They don't feel like they're just tacked on extra shit. You know?
Yeah, no,
Very
like they're not
cute.
even shorter than the chapter. So it just feels like I don't know why this isn't just chapter 7.
I know, right? I mean,
I don't know what makes it a bonus is what
Well, because it was, I think,
to be slotted in anywhere in the story.
well, yeah, and it was designed as a one shot to hook people who weren't already aware of the story and the dynamics of the characters. It's just it was published outside of, I think, its regular publication as a way to hook new readers.
And it's also, if you don't, like, if you read the series, you're obviously going to buy the one shot because it's an extra little bonus that's not in the manga until they serialize it or put it out.
Right.
And this is a thing that, like, I haven't really noticed this in a story before, but I can, like, actually tell that Anya's personality is, like, maturing as the story goes on. And I haven't really seen that in a thing where I can tell, like, she's much more, like, confident in the way and, like, aggressive in the way she talks compared to how she did in the beginning because of how she's being brought up.
Yeah, I mean, and that comes from, having Yor teaching her self-defense. She's, constantly getting abducted all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So she's building up a tough skin because of that. I mean, the character development, and even outside of Anya, but just between Yor and Lloyd, too. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, she's
it's
she's starting to
crazy.
catch some feels, I feel like. And
I
I'm
mean,
like, who wouldn't?
I mean, for real.
Who wouldn't? He's like, the car's waiting. I was like...
I mean, even her brother, I'm like, okay, all right.
Was that... Was the one where she gets shot? That was a bonus, right?
That's a bonus.
Yeah, that's I think that's my
my favorite.
favorite. Yeah, no, that is definitely my favorite. That shit
That's
was
my
so funny.
That reminded me of a personal thing.
Really?
Not getting shot in the butt, but, like, someone had diarrhea and they didn't want to tell me, so they had to make up excuses all the time to, like, they, like, told me, like, a year later because, like, we just started dating.
Yeah.
And
That's pretty fucking
I was just like, wow,
awesome.
that's very similar to, like, that
She's
experience.
really not enjoying the...
Yeah, it was stuff like that. I'd be like, oh, you want to get something to eat? She's like, oh, no.
Imagine she's like, Cody's like, you mind if I come upstairs? She's like, absolutely not. He's like, damn, I guess she doesn't like me. Meanwhile, she's just shitting her brains out upstairs.
The reality is we were, like, climbing in trees and stuff. I do weird stuff, but, like, that's... we were climbing in trees, and she's like, I have to go now, actually.
Are you dating a monkey?
Yeah.
Like, are you dating a squirrel?
I rock climb.
You were climbing trees
We
as your
both
first
were.
date?
It does make sense because it's free. And so I
Yeah.
feel like Cody would be like, oh, I got a great idea. Let's climb trees.
You can
Meanwhile,
shit talk it, but to spontaneously, like, pull over and be like, let's just hang out in a tree, is a magical time. I have a lot of regrets. That is not one of them.
We're going to have to move on, dude, because that's
That
fucking
was a
wild.
bomb drop.
You guys,
Oh, never mind.
this is like
How
2
old were
years
you?
ago.
This
Yeah.
is like, yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been a month ago. I'll climb a tree right now. The reason I don't is I don't want to show off in front of you guys.
That's the
Okay.
reason.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. Wow, dude, that was a bombshell.
You guys don't climb trees?
Oh, yeah, I'm kind of shaking.
I'm shocked.
I'm a little shaken. No one climbs trees like
Nobody
that.
climbs
You
trees.
I can promise you.
I haven't climbed a tree since I was like 8 years old.
This wasn't
Yeah.
a tall tree.
I don't give a fuck.
You don't think that, like, climbing a tree with someone and just talking while you're both sitting in a tree, you don't think that's, like, a great way to bond?
If I was in an episode
And they
of
have
a Disney
diarrhea?
Channel movie or something like that,
They have diarrhea.
and they have diarrhea. Now I like it a little bit more. But
And they have to keep coming up with excuses to, like...
Gotta go down the tree.
yeah, I mean, yeah, and like maybe not a
Shit.
Disney movie, but like a Hallmark movie or something. Yeah, sure, that sounds nice. But
Yeah.
like in real life,
You can have romantic experiences in real life. I know that's probably a foreign concept to you.
it's not a foreign concept to me. It's actually a very familiar concept to me.
You couldn't
I
even
can
say.
guarantee
What can you guarantee, Megs?
nothing. Don't call me Megs. Don't call me Megs.
But yeah, I honestly, I was, like, relating to that kind of experience.
Yeah, I love that.
So fun.
Of just being like, oh,
She
we're
got
having a great
shot.
time, but
Yeah.
you don't want to...
In the ass.
Yeah, I mean that's a bonus. That's a bonus story too. That I, could have been in the middle of the volume, and I would have not batted an eye. I thought it was so fun. But yeah, she gets shot. I mean, we could talk about it right now. She gets shot because she's on one of her missions, And little do we know that one of the guys that she was supposed to kill in that group survives, but she doesn't know that.
And it was played pretty dramatically where he gets the gun and then it's a hard cut. And
Yeah.
in any other story, you'd think like, oh, is she dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, Anya and Bubble, what's his name? Frankie Bubbles. Why do I call him Bubbles?
That's weird. Yeah.
I think his hair, I don't know. And it was like Frankie and Anya, they're like, let's go follow them. And he's like, hell yeah, I like your thinking. Yeah. And they're like sneaking around the corner and Lloyd just immediately spots them like, what the fuck are they doing? Because he's just so good at his job.
Yeah, little stuff like that to show like he's not a joke spy, he's like a skilled spy.
Or even her too, like it's so good.
Well, that's what happened earlier. I don't know if we talked about it specifically in the first episode, but when Anya had to go apologize to Damien after
and Lloyd's just like
Lloyd,
that.
was just watching her the whole time. I mean, yeah,
and just leaving like funny. Little like a mirror thing to reflect like today is a good day to apologize.
That was so cool. Yeah,
I love the school aspect too. It's like a cool contrast area for like Anya just doing her shit and not necessarily involved with like Yor and Lloyd. So it's like really.
But I like, you know what? It's funny that you say that because I didn't think of it until now, but I completely agree. I like that it's not all taking place at the school and it's not all taking place outside of the school. There's a good mix of the outside world and the school.
We just want
life.
Anya time, you know?
Yeah, sometimes we just need to be, we just need Anya. We don't need anybody else.
You don't need anyone else. She's enough.
You know what? I was really surprised and impressed with the depth Damien got.
Yeah, he's actually coming around to be
I feel
really
like
cool character.
It would be so easy to just leave him be the goth kid.
This bratty rich kid.
Yeah, there's one line that like Anya can hear in his thoughts. I'm like, oh, that's really cool that they gave him that depth.
Yeah.
Which, it's not even that deep. And the story goes on. He gets like little moments every now and then. Like, I'm actually rooting for them to like be friends now.
Yeah, he defends her without actually defending her when people are talking shit. And he's like, do you think you could do that?
Yeah.
Are you disgracing the school right now? And they're like, oh, no. And he's like, then shut the fuck up.
It was like Sir Elegance was like, no, that's a man.
I love Sir Elegance too because it's like a school that is like, he's grading off of like morale and like ethic, like, and it's so funny. He's like, the real winners are these people. It's just like,
I love the sitcom type thing where he's like, I'm filling in for the dodgeball coach.
Yeah.
Where he just like takes on roles as like.
And I can't see a dodgeball scene without thinking of Hunter. I
thought you were gonna say dodgeball.
No, absolutely not.
Not the
you
movie.
Don't like that movie?
Out of all of those types of movies,
you don't like that movie?
One of my least favorite. Out of all of those like Ben Stiller movies, I mean, I'm putting Tropic Thunder way above Dodgeball.
Sure, but do you like Dodgeball?
It's fine. Yeah, it's good. Sure.
I mean, if you're saying like you like a lesser golden coin, I mean, whatever. But Ben Stiller's all gold, baby.
Zoolander above Dodgeball too.
Sure, but do you like Dodgeball?
It's fine.
We can move on.
You have
Hunter
garbage opinions.
That's 100% not true.
Hunter is a very good dodgeball scene. I mean,
you didn't make it that far, did you? Because you have terrible taste.
I got to the dodgeball arc of Hunter x Hunter.
It wasn't an arc
until I eventually had to. We had to have the whole conversation where I told you I tried. I followed this show. I went day in, day out. I got home. I watched the show, and I'd be like, I still don't like it, but I kept watching it for you guys.
This is the guy who says he has good opinions. Okay, so yeah. So just remember that, audience, when you're watching and listening. Whose side are you really on?
Ben Stiller's or Hunter x Hunter? A battle as old as time.
Yeah, that's a whole shonen series within itself.
Mystery Men.
This school is
Mystery
so
Men.
small.
Fantastic movie, dude.
Mystery Men might be one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. Anyway, point is, yes, dude. The dodgeball scene was very funny, very well done. Again, this is when we're getting Anya time and her friend Becky too. So funny.
Yeah.
And that's when she starts like using her psychic powers. It's like a thing where it's like you can see that coming, but it is great because there's the world's most fit like 4-year-old child is playing dodgeball, and then she's able to like
6.
Yeah, 6 years old.
Yeah, he's a massive man. He speaks like full sentences eloquently.
Yeah. She's able to dodge all the moves, and then Damien like has his moment where he's like, "Yeah, she's gonna get hit," and he like instinctually goes in to save her. I like how he's like a tsundere for her at this point now.
Yeah, for sure, totally.
And then she has her big thing of remembering the training that Yuri gave her, and then she like just gets it wrong, and then the guy just like
gets it and
Yeah.
throws it right back at her, and
he
they're
just like
yeah.
blinks her into
Yeah, and it's so anticlimactic because they thought they were gonna get a star. They thought they were gonna get a Stella. I think. they
yeah,
called
and he's
her.
like, we don't do that.
And he's like, what a dumb thing to give a Stella for. Like, no. As a matter of fact, I want to give them a Stella just because they, despite their indifferences, they came together and fought back against you guys, even though
Yeah.
they lost. But yeah, such a cool moment, such a cool little. It's just time, like you said, time that we get away from the family. We get to see them as individual characters. And speaking of that, we get to see when Anya's away, we get to see Lloyd and Yor. Like, what I don't want to breeze over is that moment where after we find out or after Lloyd finds out that Yuri's in the SSS, he starts to doubt Yor immediately after that, and he bugs her to make sure that she's not gonna betray him, or that she doesn't work for them too, or that she doesn't know anything that she's not supposed to know. And even Frankie, when he comes up to him, he's like, he could tell that Lloyd feels kind of guilty for distrusting her. And poor fucking Yor thinks that she's just a terrible wife.
I know.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't do anything right. I'm so horrible. And then he's like, you're not horrible. I like you just the way you are. And I was like,
Yeah.
don't do this to me, Lloyd. Don't fucking do this. You sweet
I
bitch.
love at the end, because they even impersonate SSS members, and they're
Oh, yeah, that was
100%
funny.
Sure, that was hilarious. They're 100% sure she's not lying about anything. And then at the end, he tells her, she's like, am I okay? Am I doing, what I'm supposed to do? I could do this more. I could do that more. And he's like, honestly, like everybody's just, everybody's playing a role. And that gets exhausting. He's like, just be yourself. But it was like such a cool moment.
that
and it was
SS scene too, because they're trying to know if she's aware that her brother is part of the secret police.
Yeah.
So they're like, if you are related to someone in the SS, then none of this will be a problem. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then Frank goes to put a hand on her, and she does a thing.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'll take you on if you're gonna shit talk my husband. That was a solid moment.
Yeah. Man, it's so full of like just heart, man. It ceases to amaze me though. Every time a new chapter or a new volume comes my way, I fall in love with the series every single time I pick it up. It's crazy. I don't think I've ever read anything this wholesome in my life before.
Really?
I just want to hug every single character.
This, in manga at least, I don't know a more wholesome story.
Yeah, there's
and
like
characters.
cute slice of life series that
Even-
I love, but like
The thing at the zoo where like Lloyd has to impersonate being a zookeeper.
Yeah, dude.
So he does it, and he uses his spy text to feed all the penguins, and then the guy he did that to ends up getting a promotion for it. So which was this like little detail, like, oh no, he didn't like ruin a guy's like chance at a job. That does happen in movies and stuff where they like the guy's just like, oh, you're fired by the way because of your impersonation.
Yeah.
But he actually made that guy's life better.
Yeah, but that guy was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's a boss.
Good point, dude.
Dang.
Maybe he was working for, here's a Cody joke, Congress, huh?
Oh.
We got him. We're back. We're
We
back.
got him.
We're friends again. We're friends
friends.
again. But yeah, dude, I thought that was such a sweet, sweet, sweet moment. And then after that, too, just moving past, we got past the dodgeball game. They're trying to find a talent for Anya because Lloyd, I think, at a certain point, is like, look, okay, she's not gonna get these Stellas based on intelligence, dude. Maybe she's a good artist, but she's not. Maybe she's a good musician, but she's not. It's like, how are we gonna get these Stellas? Community service. And that's where they find that guy, that kid in the pool. That's where Anya finds that boy in the pool. And that's another case of her using her powers to benefit her. But it's always in this creative way because she can't let anybody know that she has these powers. So it's like, how do I tell someone I know that there's someone drowning in the pool right now? And so she just runs into the other room and just throws herself in the pool,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
And she would have died.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Because she can't lift another child out with like one hand while swimming.
Yeah.
And then I like when Lloyd jumps in to save him. He's like just standing up, and it wasn't even a deep pool.
Oh, yeah.
He just
Yeah.
he easily like what happened?
But my favorite part is like after Anya gets that star and she starts calling herself Starlight Anya.
Starlight Anya.
Starlight Anya.
Oh
Shine.
my god, dude.
She's like, oh, we're doing this? Her friend's like, okay.
Yeah, her friend's like, can we not do this?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like even her relationship with Becky is so fun. I love this character, and she's a rich girl too, and she puts it in her head like, you should get a reward. You got a star. That's a big deal. Like you should get I get what did
Dresses
she say? Like,
and nude stuffed animals. Like, your dad's not going to get you anything? She's like, I guess I do want a reward. And then that's when, what's his name? The kid?
Damien.
Damien well, they're talking about dogs and stuff, and she goes, oh, and he goes, in her mind, he's like, if you have a dog, then I want your dog to come to my house so I can prove that my
Bring
dog's
your
better.
parents.
Yeah, he's like, bring your parents. She's like, yes.
And then she sees Lloyd just talk to the scientist and be like, let's have world peace. And she goes, yes, that's how I'll do it.
She's like, I need a dog. Why? We're peace.
Yeah. And every time Anya, you know, she has this perfect vision of what's going to happen, and it never happens.
Yeah. I love her weighing out the options in her head of like what's going to happen, and then it's so funny.
But it is a very like, it's childlike optimism, like portrayed very well.
She tells him she has a dog, and he goes, oh.
Yeah, and she goes, her face. She's like,
I ruined it.
I know we had to have said it in the first episode, but Anya's faces in these following volumes are just like the best. I think they're better. Like, you see them in volume 1 and you're like, oh my God, this is hilarious. But then there's new faces that are just crazier and crazier and funny. Like, I laughed out loud at just her making a face in volume 4 when she goes to see the dogs.
Yeah,
Oh
I drew
my
it.
God, dude.
Like, oh my God, actual disgust.
Yeah, it was like, are you fucking kidding me kind of face. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I can't, like, we've talked about, like, in Mashal how they have the tiny expressions. Like, you know, there's so many ways to draw a funny expression, but something about Anya, she's just like, her facial expressions really just do it for me.
Hilarious.
They're so funny.
They're so hilarious.
But yeah, she gets the idea in her head that she wants to get a dog, and that's where we go into my favorite volume so far, volume 4.
No,
It gets pretty crazy.
I teared up at the end.
Oh.
I didn't tear because, you know, I my thing with the crying or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did get a little emotional.
It's something about a dog.
I did too, having a bad life.
Remembering that, and I was like,
yeah, it's
that'll
sad.
get me. And
That's
you just
sad.
see how, you know, just a scrunched up dog face taking torture. I'm like, that'll get me.
Yeah.
That'll get me going.
Well, I think I'm kind of glad that we went through volumes 2 and 3 a little faster than we usually do, so we can spend a little more time on volume 4. Because, like you said, Cody, I think volume 4 is where it all kind of starts coming together, right?
This is when it stops being shenanigans.
Yeah.
And starts being
Shit
the shiza.
shit gets real again.
The shiza?
shit. The shit.
I said, I don't know if you guys heard me.
What'd you say?
Did you guys hear me?
Huh?
He said
Huh?
no more
Wait,
shenanigans.
are you still talking?
What'd you say?
Yeah,
I didn't get
have a
any.
microphone.
Hello?
You guys have
I didn't get
headphones.
any of that. No,
No, I can't really. I think it's my.
You said
I
this
hear
is where
What'd you say?
I hear like a weasel squeaking.
I'm trying to
into
say it
the-
again, but
Oh, it's like the weasels from Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, I'm hearing that.
such a weird pull.
Maybe I'm getting an issue in my transponder here, but I'm not.
I said it's no more shenanigans. Shit gets real again.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, thank you. But no, you're right. Let's talk about Roger Rabbit.
No.
I've been on a Roger Rabbit kick
You're
lately.
right.
But yeah, this shit goes off.
Yeah,
this shit
dude,
goes fire.
this is the first, I think, volume where it's like it's
Fire.
a one story from
Fire.
beginning to end. It's like almost like an arc, but it's just a long story.
Hmm.
And I think all the other chapters can be kind of self-contained with the dodgeball, with the grocery store, but this is like 6 chapters of one story, and I really like
and
that.
it does get to a point where it is like, oh yeah, people could die in this stuff. This is
very easily.
This isn't like fun, like guilt, like consequence-free actions. Like a bomb can go off and kill you.
Yeah, this is war.
Yeah.
Like this is straight up war, and this is the volume 2 that we see more of his like boss or like colleague, the woman with
His
glasses.
handler, yeah.
Yeah, and she's fucking awesome. Like that whole little monologue that she has
God,
about war. I was like,
oh my God. She's
this is fucking
a true
real.
badass, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. I love her too.
Yeah, that's a great point that you guys both brought up. Like, we've been told that this is a war and that there is a war happening or we're on the brink of war, but this is the first volume where it felt like it. And I believed it.
Mhm.
People are dying. Her whole thing where she's talking about, like, have you seen your loved one's bones crushed under rubble or something like that?
Have you eaten human meat?
Well, you have, but
Have you boiled it and simmered
I don't
it
remember that being in
till
the...
it falls off the bone and then you eat it?
okay.
Did you do that in war? I'm talking. That was her monologue. That's what she said.
Megan, I'm 90% sure she didn't say that.
She
was
said
not-
that.
I don't. I remember the rubble part.
No,
I
she
remember
does.
the
She goes
rubble.
human meat
Falling
in a-
off the bone?
falling off the bone
Falling
in a pot.
off the bone.
That's what she says.
Why would she?
She goes and you feed it to everyone,
Oh. I think it...
and it's a meal and a dinner, but it's war.
But it's a meal, but a dinner, but it's war. You know,
Do you guys
that is
remember
ringing a
that?
bell. That is ringing a bell.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really liked her character.
No, she's
and
awesome.
The war is pretty scary.
War is scary. War is very scary.
Yeah.
Not that I would know. You know, the closest thing to war I've gotten is going to a boot camp, you know.
Oh my God! Did your parents send you to boot
Yeah,
camp?
I got sent to boot camp. Yeah.
Man, your life sucks.
I found my old boot camp jacket.
Oh, I thought you
too.
meant pictures. They didn't take pictures, huh?
No, and if they did, I made sure that no one will ever see them.
Why?
It's a horrible time.
Oh, I wish
yeah,
I
your
could
parents
see
just
that.
sent you to get yelled at by a person who's like,
Yeah.
I mean, because also, like, I mean, that's a job, right? So someone volunteered, like, you're gonna yell at kids and be like, yes,
Yeah. And there was like a Navy SEAL there. It was a whole thing.
to be like, to be.
Oh, a seal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it. Yeah. It was very fun.
That
now that I
sounds
think
like
about
fun.
It. Yeah.
I think you're just complaining.
Wow.
Yeah, so the first start of the
dude-
volume.
But dude, yeah, it's war. We're getting like real threats. These anarchists or who they're on whatever side they're on are gonna strap bombs to dogs and like
Yeah,
send the
that was
dogs-
an insane plan. That was an insane plan. We're going to let loose these dogs and they're all going to have bombs.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're allowed to show in manga or any sort of
That's
media.
not a
but
made up thing.
That's what I mean. It
Yeah.
felt like a real tactic that people have used before.
How can
Yeah.
you do that?
I mean, they're already killing, you know,
People?
I mean, they're
people.
murderers. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
I don't know.
murderers.
It's like,
yeah. How could you kill for the sake of?
how
your
could you kill a
political-
dog, though?
Oh,
I mean, yeah, you're right. That dog doesn't, you know, didn't vote for that guy or whatever. You know?
No.
Maybe he did.
I like there was a part where Anya stops a bomb.
Dude,
Yeah,
that was
that's
before,
towards that's
right?
towards the end.
That's towards the end. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
before, when the first volume, when the volume starts, the whole thing is Anya's looking for a dog with
She needs a dog for
Lloyd.
world peace.
for world peace, and
Yeah.
because she wants a cute one. And they go to this little pound, and it's associated with his agency.
Mhm.
And there's like, you know, there's like just like fucking ripped
Yeah.
dogs, like a pit
Yeah.
bull, bulldog, and they're all not like cute little Yorkies or anything that she wanted. And that's when the face comes in, and she's just like, ugh.
I like
I'm like,
how
oh my god.
when they talk about the dogs, Yor just imagines like that they'll kill Anya because
Yeah.
she's never had like a pet. She only knows them as guard dogs.
They'll bite her head off. She goes, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And I think that Anya's already hearing like the
Yeah.
dog's thoughts. They're like, "Me so strong,
Yeah.
me the strongest." I was like laughing so hard. That would be awesome.
Yeah, she's a real Eliza Thornberry.
Eliza Thornberry.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of deep cuts. Yeah. Yeah. Darwin, I think, is his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, she wants a cute dog, so they end up going to this dog fair.
After
And-
Lloyd is like, "I need to go take a shit," and
Oh,
Anya's like,
speaking of shit.
Anya, Anya's like,
like-
oh, he takes long dumps too,
Yeah.
and he was like,
and he's like,
"All right,
"Okay."
I appreciate the support,
Yeah,
but I don't know where this is coming from.
My dad takes long poop, so it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, because yours like, "Man, we can just wait for you." And she's like, "Oh, no. We're going to be here for a while."
Lloyd's like, all right, thank you, but
I gotta
Yeah.
say, I love the dog fair. You know me, you got some
Mm.
dachshunds, you got some Yorkies. You know, there's a whole plethora of very cute dogs, which I appreciated very much.
Yeah, and it's so funny because the dog that they end up going with, by the way, there's a note from the mangaka later at the very end where he describes that it's loosely based on a breed of dog, but it's actually not a specific dog.
No, yeah, I think it's a Burkinese or
But it's like-
Bernese.
But it's like, yeah, like loosely based on that, but he did take liberties, so I don't even think this type of dog really even exists.
well, it's an experimental dog, right?
Oh, well,
oh, yeah, that's true.
yes.
So,
Project Apple.
yeah,
That's really what it's called.
Yeah,
yeah, it
Is that
is.
like
It is.
a pun on something?
Steve Jobs, yeah.
Oh, because they're giving them jobs.
By blowing up.
No, I
Yeah.
think they're trying to get us to look a little more into Apple, you know? Which is something I've been saying for years, dude.
Oh yeah,
You have been
right.
saying that.
Oh, yeah,
You guys
thank you.
both have Androids. Forgot.
Yep, because we're not sheep.
Thank you, Cody. Finally, dude.
We're
I
gonna
felt like
lose
we were off to a rocky start in
lot
the
of
beginning.
subs now that they know you guys aren't using Apple.
No, that's not true. We got a, what do you call it? A blue bubble over here or whatever?
Huh?
What is it? Green bubble, blue bubble, whatever the fuck people care about?
Sure.
You don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. Everybody gives me shit because
Thank you.
apparently when I send messages to their iPhones, it comes up as a green bubble.
It comes out as nothing because you're
Oh.
not sending messages to anyone.
Oh, good
that
one,
was
Megan.
Solid.
That genuinely hurt my feelings.
That's why we use IG group message.
Yeah.
Josh, I was just joking.
No,
I
it's
was
okay.
actually.
This
You
is the
look
problem.
very upset.
If you want to do a joke, don't say a real thing.
Okay, Cody.
And now
I'm
you're
not gonna take
piling on.
I'm not gonna take a fucking note out of your book. You do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
Well, you care about upsetting him.
See, that's a great point. He doesn't really care.
I know. I know.
JK, Megan, that was a really good one.
Thank
And like
you.
I told you previously, you can razz me. And you can say some horrible shit.
But don't dazzle.
But as long as it's funny, I like it. I like it. Yeah, I like it. But yeah,
so
dude,
dogs.
this, and you know, yeah, look, and I'm not trying to pile on, you know, so I would appreciate if you guys would have my back on this, please. You know, I've got a lot of heat because of the Weird Al stuff. I'm probably going to get a lot of,
Oh, yeah.
I have a lot of heat on me right now because of the, you know, Apple versus Android thing. People are very passionate about that. So let's not go real too deep into it, but you guys know that I'm a cat guy more than a dog guy. But, you know, I did like seeing this particular dog. I found him very cute. I just didn't want Cody to call me out and say, like, you don't even fucking like dogs.
See, you go way too deep into it.
Yeah, I don't.
And we probably wouldn't have said anything if you said you thought this dog was cute.
You think we would have been like, what are you talking about? You have a cat, not a dog. What the hell are you talking about, man?
Oh, I'm sorry. You guys have nurtured an environment where I feel the need to constantly defend myself.
It's a dog.
He's a cute dog.
Yeah. What fucking world do you live in where you...
The real one.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I think he's so cute too. And
He's so cute.
He runs by Anya at the dog fair. And that's where Anya, it's such a creative way to play with their powers because we find out that this dog has been experimented on, Project Apple, and that this dog can now see into the future. We don't know how much or how far.
You have a psychic dog and then a girl who can read animal minds. So it's also smart enough to be able to act on the things it can tell in the future. So it'll like pull someone to safety.
I literally wrote down like the future. My eyes sparkled. Like I felt so much joy. I was like, this dog can see the future.
Yeah.
I was reading. I was like, what? I got so excited, like way too excited that this dog could see the future.
It's so perfect too, and that's why they say like, oh yeah, they had a bunch of dogs they were experimenting on for Project Apple, but none of them ended up like they didn't get any results. But it's because nobody can read a dog's mind.
Yeah, we made a dog who's psychic, and we asked it to be able to stop things, and it just kept barking.
Yeah, they had no idea that it worked. But then you have Anya who can read minds, and now she can just see his visions for him.
Yeah,
and it's just like such a cool way to play with that.
All those dogs were just sent to like a kennel thing, and it's like they were all just like smarter than normal dogs. And that's the plot point is those terrorists are like, we don't even have to try that hard to train them.
Yeah.
We can just take these already super smart dogs, tell them like, dude, go do this, and they can go do it.
Yeah.
Because they talk about how like a military trained dog costs a lot of money and years of training.
Yeah.
So unless there's like psychic dogs out there, I think we should be good.
Yeah, dude, and this, I believe these guys. I believe them as a threat too. And Lloyd has this moment or Twilight has this moment where he comes in and he, he's called in. That's why he left to go take a shit because he has to go question one of the members that they've captured. So he pretends that he's the leader so that this guy will give them information, and then they find out where all their bases are and what their plan is. Now, meanwhile, Anya, her first vision that she sees from this dog is Anya and Lloyd, arms open, smiling, like almost saying like, welcome home, welcome to the family, right? And that's what makes Anya chase after him in the first place. Super adorable. Then all of a sudden, once they're in this building and Anya's, found, she's been found.
This little kid's listening to everything that we're saying. She's just a little kid killer.
Yeah, they jumped to that so quick.
It was interest because they weren't like thrilled about it, but they did approach us like, well, she's gonna tell someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, she's not gonna say shit. She's a kid. They're like, she's gonna say something.
Yeah, not even let's like tie her up until we follow through our plan, and then it doesn't matter who she tells. Let's murder her. Yeah.
Die.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna blow up a bunch of buildings, I mean, what do you think are in buildings?
But at least,
only children.
Yeah,
it's a building of small businessmen.
Small businessmen, boss babies, if you will.
Boss babies. Love Boss Baby. Great film.
Love Boss Baby too.
But yeah, it's just like not to say, it's all equally horrific, but like if they're blowing up buildings, they don't have to see, the damage. But to kill Anya, man, come on, of all people, you have to look that cute little girl in her eyes and do something that terrible? I can't even fathom.
No.
Yeah, well,
fathom
I mean,
events.
You're
I can't.
not
even.
a mass murderer, so yeah, this is pretty.
Yeah, I can't even think about it.
Yeah, I don't know what point. It's like if you watch Spider-Man, you're like, man, imagine becoming the Green Goblin. It'd be crazy.
See, I get that.
Just throwing
you know?
pumpkin bombs everywhere. Like, who would do such?
Tell
thing?
Harry I love him.
But I can't get behind. I can't get behind someone killing my sweet Anya.
And I like how the dog, yeah, and like she sees that the dog's like vision futures involve them as a family.
Yeah.
And that's when it started getting emotional to me. It was like, is that something that kept the dog going through all the torture and imprisonment? Was like it knew that like it always had visions.
Get a family.
That's really cool. I didn't think about that.
And then he shows her like the whole bomb situation, obviously with how it's gonna go down and what building.
See, I think they played it way cooler though, because that does eventually happen. But after your after
damn,
What
okay.
do you mean way cooler? That's what happened.
no. The way no, I'm
Look,
just saying.
I don't know what that was about.
It's
but...
it's been to us a little bit slower than that. It's not all, they don't unload on us all at once. Yor saves them. Yor basically sees them because the dog.
There was the little moment where like the dog like goes to like get in the way of Anya and the terrorists, and then they like pull the guns out. The dog kind of goes like, "All right, look, there's nothing I can really do."
Yeah, and then the phone rings, and then they escape, and then Yor sees them running away, and she fucks up. I think all of them, but the leader gets away, and that's when she's on the phone. Yor's on the phone, and she's like calling the police, which is another reoccurring bit that we get to see later on.
Yeah, she's like, "No, I'm just a housewife."
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the dog's ears go up, and Anya sees the same vision, but just now Lloyd's gone. But it's the same exact panel. It's the same exact, it's still the three of them, but now just Lloyd's gone. So there's this beat where you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, Lloyd's gonna die now.
Yeah, and then you kind of know what's going to happen, but then Anya's like, I need more information, and then that's when she, goes further into his thoughts. But I just like that beat. I like that beat of just, it's that Back to the Future
I forgot
moment
about that beat.
where it's just all of a sudden someone's not in the Polaroid anymore,
Yeah.
And
I thought that was cool.
It is a part of like, because I don't really like when the dogs just perfectly understand English. So I like kind of showing like, how could a dog, like they don't get pure, it doesn't say like, Lloyd will die at this explosion. You have to stop it. I can tell the future. Like because that's always the thing that's interesting to me. Is how do you think if you don't have language?
Yeah.
So the dog is able to like communicate to her via like images in its head.
Yeah. And then, like you were saying, Megan, though, we got to see like not only what happens in this alternate timeline, or I guess what they're on the path to actually being their timeline. We get to see like all of it in a very horrific way. We get to see Lloyd, like at first I was like, oh, all we're gonna get to see is this building explode in the distance, but then we actually get to see Lloyd fucking dead.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is too much. I don't ever want to see this. I know that that's not gonna happen, but I can't handle it.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. I was like, oh.
A little thing I like whenever there's a team dynamic, which is like, because he had images of them as a family in the future. That image starts to fade, and then he dies. So it's not like I would have the thing I got was like by Anya like being able to read thoughts, she interfered with the normal timeline. The Terrors like ended up like jump starting the thing. They ended up catching on. That's why they got to the trail so fast, and the bomb went off before it was supposed to.
Yeah.
So just this thing of like Lloyd, because otherwise it's like, oh, Lloyd would have just died there, but because the future was altered, that's why he died. It wasn't like, oh, he just became incompetent.
Right.
Timelines got interfered because the dog always saw the future of them together.
Yeah.
And then he faded from it. So it's not like... it's just a little thing I like that like, oh, Anya is helping, but also in a world where like that wasn't being interfered with, maybe he wouldn't have just opened a door and died.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, and it is, they do start dealing with time and timelines and stuff like that, but I do like that it's not like, necessarily bogged down by a lot of, it's the door's left open for you to kind of speculate those kind of things.
Yeah.
And I think, I am so curious as to where I'm a sucker for time travel and like butterfly effects. I'm so curious to see like where the story's going to go and how they're going to use this character in future volumes.
Yeah,
but
the dog feels like the final piece of this dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it feels like I didn't even know that I was missing a piece until I met this fucking dog. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, now we're here. Now it's a whole unit.
You get Anya communicating that there's a bomb via ketchup.
That was so funny.
And And they're like, is this an eggplant?
Oh, yeah.
And she squeezes through, and then she's like, okay, it's just a red and blue wire. Oh, they're all black wires. Okay. And then she just goes outside to write the message.
Well, also so funny.
She was like, yeah, she's just gonna disarm it. But
She's like, I don't even have pliers. Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny because we've seen the bomb cutting the wires thing a million times. But also, and we've even seen like time travel, people trying to prevent a situation from happening. But she can't even tell time, which is another layer of absurdity to all of it.
Sir, what time is it? It's 12. So you have 30 minutes until 1. Oh, I feel like 30 minutes is a long time.
Yeah. She's like, how long is 30 minutes? It's so funny to have like a little kid try to do it because she doesn't know how to tell time. She doesn't know how to, she doesn't have any tools to cut wires. She doesn't it was so funny. It was such a fresh take on this like trope that we've seen in movies so many times before.
Yeah. And I like, cause she never stops being a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it's like, I gotta do the, I don't know how to do that. Like those little things. Like she doesn't suddenly become like super competent and everything.
Yeah, which is also like a device that a lot of comedy manga or series will use, right? Where like a character will be able in the moment to do that because that's funny.
I expected, she's gonna cut the wire and be like, whew, or the dog's gonna be like, no, not that.
Yeah.
What?
No.
No. But instead she says like, I'll just try to go through this door.
Yeah. In ketchup, and then the eggplant joke was so funny.
They're like, it's blood. No, it's ketchup.
Yeah, they're just like, who did that? Did he do that? They're like, no, I don't think the terrorist left us a warning. So like, all right, well, we got to stop that guy so we can get back to this later.
And it almost seemed like it wasn't going to be enough to stop them either.
Yeah, they almost did it anyway.
Yeah. But I knew Lloyd couldn't possibly die, but I still thought like something could go wrong at any point. I was on the edge of my seat. It's so hard to kind of play with time travel like that because inevitably Lloyd's one of the main characters. He's not going to die, so it's hard to like become invested or care. But I still was on the edge of my seat, like something is going to fucking happen.
The story becomes genuinely suspenseful.
Yeah,
and, like, it becomes an action thing, and you get Yuri like just beating people up constantly.
Yeah,
and
kicking a car.
Yeah.
Like she
Oh
kicks
my
a
God.
car. I was like, what?
And then she fucking Toretto on him.
I like that because you get Anya like always imagining events, and then you see Yor like the way she like jumps to events like they're probably gonna sell her to child marriages and stuff, and then she's just like yelling that at them. She's too young for you,
you
and
pervert. I just became a wife. They're like, okay.
And then she's just like, it's the same housewife. No, I have to go now though.
No, it's the same housewife. Yeah. No. I don't know. They got in an accident. It's so weird. I just happened to be here.
And I have to go now.
Yeah, it's so funny. And she full on kicks a moving vehicle as hard as she can into a pole. It's so crazy. But and that's when we see, and I think that's why people love this series so much, is because the comedy does well, the wholesome, slice of life sort of self-contained stories that it tells, but also the action it tells so incredibly well, because there's that whole part where Lloyd has to impersonate the minister, and then there's this car chase, and then he has to.
And I love how Lloyd just straight up pulls out a gun.
Yeah,
he's not a cartoon spy.
Yeah,
he does go, that's the guy, and he goes to just kill him then and there.
Yeah, and even that creative way, I'm like, there's no way that Lloyd's gonna kill a dog. And there's even this moment.
I know. When he points the gun at the dog, and I was like, no.
And he even like has this moment with the dog where he's like, look, nothing personal. I know that you don't really have a say in this. And I'm like, oh my God, they're just like cushioning the blow for when Lloyd kills a fucking dog.
And I like too that German Shepherd, it was of the intelligent breed. And you can see in its face that it was like just terrified.
Yeah.
You just get a little shot of it being like, look, I don't have they're going to do horrible things to me if I don't follow their order. Like, I really like that German Shepherd got some depth.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, and it's the evil version of the fun dog. It was like, well, the fun dog got to be adopted and I have to just do the thing that I was kidnapped to do.
Did you read the little, there's like a one little page bubble about what happens to that dog?
No.
You didn't?
Because I know Lloyd, like, he's like, you're going to just stay in this dumpster for a while until I get this figured out.
Well, yeah, he shoots the vest off.
Yeah.
Which is a cool, moment. And then, slams him into the dumpster. But then, like, way later, after we find out that the other dog gets adopted, there's just one little panel of the dog popping out of the dumpster, and it says, like, this dog was also adopted by an SSS agent or something like that. And he has, like, a loving home or whatever. It was a really cute moment. I think it was like a nice bow. You know, I love bows. It was a nice bow on that moment. But yeah, here's where I really start to fall in love with everything that Spy X Family does, because it's an action series, like I said, and it does it so well. But then we get a whole chapter at the very end of this that they take their time. It ramps up action, and then it takes the time to slow down and to go on this whole chapter long journey of like Anya finding a name for this dog once they decide to adopt it. And I love that they took their time with it. It's like this series like fires on a couple different cylinders. Like it has a couple different speeds to it, and it's not afraid to like. So many people would brush over it. Like at the end of the chapter, she'd say, "And I'm gonna name you blank," you know. But the fact that we get this like dog park interaction and her going to school,
amazing. Any scene where she like just runs and like just like when she got the dress, she's like, "This is my dress. This is my dress. You see my dress? This is my dress. This is my dog. Hey dog, tell me your secrets. What's your name? What's your name? I need to know everything about your dog."
Yeah, she's so cute.
And they're like, hey, this isn't an Anya park, it's a dog park. Like, that's exactly how I would talk to a kid.
And even because, you know, she likes peanuts, and she's talked about peanuts.
Did you see the reason why they didn't go with the name?
Yeah. The mangaka wanted to name the dog Peanut, but
it was like a copyright issue, and they didn't want to get in trouble with Peanuts.
You can't name a dog
No, it wasn't
Peanut?
a copyright issue.
Someone
but it was
owns
like,
Peanuts?
It was like what? Like, you know, it was like Snoopy.
But it wasn't copyright. It's that like it was another white dog, and they didn't like. I guess
the likeness.
The editor, not the likeness either, because they look completely different. The editor was just concerned that with another white dog named Peanuts, because it's not just Peanut, it's Peanuts, that people were going to automatically think of Charlie Brown. So it wasn't a copyright thing. The editor was just like, the mangaka wanted to name the dog that, but the editor was like, let's try to find a different name because it's also a dog that's white. That's, you know, the connection, people might draw the connection to.
She was like, can I feed a dog peanuts? Or like, you probably shouldn't do that. She's like, but I want to.
The name that they stick with, I think that's way better.
I kind of think it works better too. When she pitched Peanuts in the chapter, Anya, when she pitched it, I was like, man, that's such a great name. I don't think they're going to be able to top it. And then they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The name is...
Dun, dun, dun.
Bond. Dog Bond.
There we go. Such a cool name, and it makes sense.
And it works with the whole...
Yeah.
She loves Bond, and we know that, like...
And he gets a little bow tie.
Yeah.
To put a bow on it.
You know I love bows, dude.
It's so adorable, and she's just like showing him everything in the house, and he's just following her, and he's so huge and lovable, and I just want to cuddle him.
Yeah, and you see the scenes of him being tortured and experimented on, and like that's when I start, and because they are like, oh, I don't think he's like they do have to rehabilitate this dog.
Yeah, because he comes in and then he sees the vision that he initially had, because you see all the flashbacks of him getting fucked up, and they're like, eat your food, you fucking mongrel, and like just so sad, and he's just like his little face, and then he comes into the door and they're like, welcome home, and it's the vision that he saw, and he just looks, and he looks down, and they're like looking at each other, and then he's like, okay, and he just walks in. I was like,
yeah, I was tearing up by that.
So cute.
It was such a heartfelt moment, and I do love that. It's a nice little touch. Is that collar, man? That collar really does it.
Oh my god, he's very cute. He is very fluffy.
Yeah,
and I want one.
And there's such fun things where Anya's like, "Can I walk him?" And Lloyd has to be like, "No, maybe." When you're older, but
what did you say? She called it something. I didn't write it down. It wasn't a leash. She called the dog string.
Dog string.
Yeah. Can I hold the dog string? No, it's gonna pull you away.
Oh yeah, and another reason she decided to name him Bond for Bond Man, outside of him, the dog getting her gloves back from the other dog, but was because of his paws.
Yeah.
His paws are like.
That's why she gives him the tie to like complete. He's like a tuxedo.
Yeah.
God, that thing was so funny too. When that dog took her fucking gloves, and he just walks up to it, and it's like.
Yeah.
She's like, get away from my dog.
Yeah, I didn't know. It's like now we have the entire cast.
Yeah.
And that last story when they're all together, it's like, oh man, I didn't like I said earlier, like I didn't know that this is what I needed. I thought I had everything I needed in this story, but just adding this one last piece of the puzzle, it makes it so much more complete now. And I'm like, damn, I can't wait to see where they go with the time travel thing.
Well, it's not time travel; it's future prediction.
Yeah. But maybe time travel. Maybe
it's an important distinction because because I don't mean this in a mean way. It's just because it means like if unless they stop the future, they don't get to go back.
No, yeah, he's right,
and that it is a minor distinction, but it's important.
Yeah, he actually me right now, but you know what? I deserved it. Yeah.
Because it's a completely different thing.
Actually, they. What did you say? They introduced it a little cooler than that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, me? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, to be fair, they did.
Yeah, I just missed one part. Anyway.
Certainly worth interrupting your entire.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Spy X Family.
I'm
okay.
sorry. No, wait.
The thing with
No,
Anya,
don't
like,
don't respond.
was it
moving on.
I think the bonus one where they go on their date to eat dinner, where like after she got shot, Anya like follows him, and then there's like the people that Yor like tried to kill. They're like, we're gonna get revenge on her. We're gonna blow up this building. And then Anya and Frank are just full on like spy mode on them.
Yeah.
And I thought there was a really funny part where the terrorist is explaining like, okay, if I combine these and they just censor like all the things.
That was a good moment too.
Yeah, of you're not allowed to explain how to build a bomb.
Yeah,
And
this
she
isn't
just-
the anarchist cookbook.
And she just like knows everything about him. Like I am her assistant or whatever, and
Yeah.
like don't come looking for her anymore. Go home to Catherine and make her happy. And he's
Yeah.
like, she knows about Catherine.
Yeah, she's holding like a toy gun to his head.
That was my absolute favorite bonus story, man. I
Wait,
mean,
was it?
Where they're going on
Oh,
a date.
That's the same one.
That's the
Yeah.
same one.
That's the same
one.
that's the
Yeah,
same
that one
one.
was great from beginning to end.
But speaking of bonus stories too, it ends, this volume 4 ends on the saddest bonus story ever. For Spy X Family being such a wholesome, being such a cute, being such a fun series. Oh, you guys didn't. Oh, but you guys read the official.
We were talking about something else. Can you please?
I did.
Oh, yeah. So then you should have. So
Which one was it?
have read this short story.
Yeah, which one was it?
Where Frankie's trying to get a date. with-
Oh, I did read that one.
That
I
was
did
the
read that one.
saddest one to you?
Yeah, that was sad.
Because of the very end, dude. I mean, for it being such a wholesome, cute, sweet
Oh,
story,
is that honey?
there's this moment where
Actually,
where
it
Lloyd
is.
at the very end is like, you think that Frankie, his date doesn't go according to plan. He isn't able to get the girl, and you think Lloyd's gonna have this moment with him where he's like, it's all right, man. Like, you'll get him next time, or oh, you're better than that, dude, or pick yourself up, blah 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 blah. And at the very end, it just ends on him saying like, yeah, dude, we're never gonna find love because we don't deserve it.
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. You know,
he
we
literally
shouldn't get
says-
too
He
close.
says guys like us aren't meant for that sort of thing.
Yeah, and let's get a fist bump for the
Lloyd.
channel.
You have your, and she's.
Oh, I do have.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is
God
Lloyd.
damn you! I was looking for volume 3 everywhere and I don't have it.
That's
God damn it.
the thing is it's like Lloyd can't even really relate to his bud Frank anymore, and now Frank is realizing he's all alone.
Well, Frank was like, "You have a wife and kid." He's like, "It's a part of my mission," but you know, Lloyd is like, "I
Yeah.
do."
Yeah, no idea.
Also, maybe foreshadowing, dude.
Floyd shadowing.
Whoa!
Wow, that was pretty good.
you're shitting on yourself, Cody, but that was very, very good, dude. I'm sorry, I thought that ended a little sad. I feel like everybody's a little combative. this episode.
What do you mean? I fist bumped you on that?
Oh no, you guys were doing this. Oh, you thought that was sad? Ooh,
Well, because the
boy.
joke is obviously that I forgot that I'm in the same boat as you,
Oh, right.
so that's on me.
And the joke was me just making fun of you guys.
which
because you're
is
on
hilarious.
you're on an island, Paradise Island.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we're
guys are
all-
in the water.
We're all just a
forever.
bunch of
Drowning,
Franks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we like to think that we're Lloyd, but we're just pretending.
Yeah, Frank. Yeah, we put on masks.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Disguises.
It's supposed
Trying
to be a
to
wholesome
Hide
story,
ourselves from society.
which we do live in. one.
Sasage.
Sasageo?
Hide ourselves from Sasageo.
We live in one.
we live in a Sasageo.
We live in a Sasageo. But overall, guys,
Yeah.
come on. I mean, how can you go wrong with Spy X Family?
Dude, it gets
We
better
knew
and
we
better.
were gonna fucking love it immediately. We already are reading it. We're continue to read it, and I'm excited to see what happens next.
It is such an easy, fun
Yeah.
read.
so easy.
Yeah, man. I mean, out of everything that we've read, I mean, this is just such a delight to go back to. It is easy. It is fun. There are a lot of other chapters that are out right now, but the 4th volume the physical copy just got released, and the 5th is coming out very soon. But, we can do a part 3 to this video when more physical copies come out, when more chapters come out. It's going to be up to you. We're not going to do it right away, but we did want to do at least a part 2 of the series because of how much we all love it.
Definitely.
Man, I can't I can't tell you guys how excited I am to continue reading this series, and it's getting an anime, right? For sure.
I don't know if it was for sure announced. I thought it was speculated.
I mean, it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah, I
feel
know
like.
for sure, but I don't know if it was actually.
Anyway, Spy X Family, one of our favorite series that we've read, and stay tuned for a little ranking video too that's going to be coming out soon.
No.
Ranking.
Where you can find out how much exactly we love Spy X Family and where we rank that in terms of our favorite manga that we've reviewed on this channel, which will be coming out soon. I don't know the exact date as of recording this, but anyway, that's our volume done, part 2, volumes 2 through 4, chapter 6 through 23 review of Spy X Family. Yes, Cody, you seem to have something caught in your throat. Oh. I forgot. We have a new segment.
Why do you have to do that into the mic?
We have a new segment.
It's probably not going to last for very long because Josh really hates it.
Yeah, he hates this.
But
segment.
okay,
I like it.
I'll start with this one.
It.
Oh, this could be an ending one, but
You got to say the name of the segment again.
oh, ED ideas. I could find something better. It's
Ideas?
I think you can find something better.
okay. Who let the bombs out?
Very good, Megan.
Okay.
This Bond with Volume 1.
Love it.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I only wrote 2. I was just like, excited reading it. I didn't think anything was like super funny.
Megan, I can't express to you how much I love this
I
segment.
fucking hate you. I fucking hate you.
Thanks for another.
Wow.
Thanks for tuning in for
You're
another
being a
segment
real
of,
Frank right
of
now.
ED ideas.
Ideas?
EDs.
It's never happening anymore because that was a bomb.
Oh.
I bombed.
Oh.
That's stupid.
We're just a couple dogs, and you're blowing up the bomb dog.
Bomb,
Megan, those are really good. I think
Bum, beat 'em.
There was a part that I was reading where I was like, I feel like this is something you would want to talk about.
Oh, did you see a note that I wrote down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Anya, she does share some of Bond's dog food.
Oh, yeah. You ate dog food?
No, but what we're about to do is blow the lid off of something right now.
Oh, you used to eat dog food, huh?
Megan, out of the three of us, who do you think eats dog food?
Cody.
Yeah.
I don't anymore.
You hear that? And Cody, tell the people why you don't eat dog. Tell them the only reason you don't eat dog food.
Because I'll be judged by society.
If he could, he would.
Cody.
I actively enjoyed it. But this was back in my trailer park days for sure. But I constantly would eat dog food, and they had to make me stop. I didn't just do it for fun. If I smell it, I'm like, that smells really good.
Yeah. I thought this was a joke. I thought it was a bit. I thought it was just Cody being Cody. But this is the truth.
I don't do it anymore.
He doesn't do it anymore because for fear of how people will see him. But he wants to do it.
If I was like a millionaire, I'd probably be like, yeah, I eat dog food.
Because he thinks he can be eccentric with as long as he has money, no one can tell him how to live his life. And if you give this man money, he will start eating dog food.
Is that a show? Like, you don't like the taste of dog food?
Nobody likes the taste of dog
You're
food.
insane. No.
Cody.
I don't do it anymore. But yeah, in my trailer
But the
days.
thing is, Cody, that you want to do
Yeah.
it. So when you keep saying, like, I don't do it anymore, you want to do it.
Yeah.
Every time you pass the fucking dog food aisle at a Walmart, you start salivating.
Legitimately, yeah.
Oh, man. Megan, you go. I can't. I've had this conversation with him already. You go.
I have no words.
It's mind-boggling.
I have no words.
It's mind-boggling.
There's no reason. It's just edible food. What's the issue?
I don't even know if it's food, first of all.
It's absolutely food.
And then you try to make a point like, oh, but it's all these processed things, and he goes, what do you think you're eating at, McDonald's?
Which you by the way, you had no counter argument for. It's a much cleaner food. So if you're willing to eat chicken nuggets from McDonald's,
So it's just basically eating something cold out of a can.
no,
doesn't eat the can. No, he likes
not
the
wet,
kibbles.
not wet dog food, the dry one.
He prefers the kibbles. He has a preference, which is also
Okay,
fucking
that's
bizarre.
The wet
That's a little
food is
bit
gross.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The wet
little
food
bit-
would be gross.
That's a little bit better.
We're talking dry food.
That's a little little bit better, honestly. It is still bad, but I thought he was straight up opening a can of wet dog food and chomping that shit down.
Oh, that'd be gross.
I thought that he was doing that, and now I feel a little better, but I still feel
Well,
nauseous.
that's not fair.
In my
Because
It is kind of fair.
no,
I would grab a handful of dry food and just eat it like chips.
The Discord chat is gonna have a field day
yeah, with this
after
one.
this one.
I haven't done it in at least 15 years.
He was gonna say 2.
Yeah,
You're
he's
this close to saying 2.
You know
You're
why?
this close to
But
saying
I
2.
didn't.
you
I
haven't
saw
done
it.
it,
I
but
saw
I
it. I
didn't say
just buy a dog so you can fucking
Yeah,
eat with
I've
it.
thought about
say
it.
the only reason
Oh
you haven't
my
done it is because you don't have a dog. You don't have a reason to is to fucking purchase dog food.
Legitimately, yes, I have considered this. But I don't do it, and I won't do it. When I have a dog, I won't eat the food.
Yes, you will.
Well,
Yes,
if
you
he
will,
refuses
dude.
to, I'll have to be like, no, look.
You will eat the food.
Yeah, you will eat the food.
Well, I don't have a dog,
You're gonna have it ready at hand.
Yeah.
You're gonna take a
I want him to
spoonful.
know that we can eat the same stuff. I mean, that's what Anya did. What, Anya's cute when she does it?
Anya
Yes.
immediately said, "No, I don't want to do this."
And I
anymore."
don't think that was believable. I don't do it. I don't do it. I don't.
Anyway,
care
this
how
was-
many, this was another
This
great
was
episode.
a great
And
episode.
I don't care how many times you
can't
say that
believe
because you want to do it. It's not like I say like, I don't murder anybody anymore, but all I think about is murdering
people.
You
I
know,
don't
it doesn't
think
make me a
about
good
eating
person.
dog food all the time.
How often do you think about it?
Maybe like once every 2 months.
That's
I think
absurd.
I think about how much I used to like it.
Man.
What was your brand of choice?
I don't know, just whatever we gave our dog. Who were German Shepherds? So
Oh, great.
Cool.
you don't like German Shepherds?
Sure, Cody.
Was it schnitzel flavored?
Yeah, what she said.
You know what? Because like I like my roommates have cats, so like I like had to buy like cat food for them, and I was like, oh wow, they have like flavors. They have like seafood melody. They have like surf and turf. That's crazy.
But cat food, yes, disgusting, dry cat
I'm not
food.
saying it's disgusting. I'm saying it's like I don't think dogs have flavors.
That's where we draw the line. Because I think dog food does come in different flavors. Right, Megan?
Legitimately, I am like I'll never eat cat food. That'd be weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just like, it's crazy.
I don't do either. I don't eat either one.
It's just wild. I don't know what to say. Like, do I call somebody? Do I get help?
You don't have to call anyone because nothing's been done.
I don't know. Anyway, I mean, if you're watching and you're worried, like, it's okay. He'll be okay. We're going to talk to him off mic.
20. Well, it's almost been 20 years since I've eaten dog food.
Wow, dude. You're clean. You're 20 years clean off dog food. Nice. You should be the entirety of your life off of dog food. I'll accept getting one kibble in your mouth accidentally as a young lad.
Accidentally.
Okay. That's gonna do it for another episode of Volume 1. Yeah, just if you wanna
I'm aware
yell at
it's
Cody-
like stigmatized, but like in my mind, I'm like, that's all I feel about it. I just know that it is stigmatized, which is why I don't do it
Yeah.
anymore.
help me and Megan get through to Cody. Yes, he says he doesn't do it anymore, but this is something he thinks about and he thinks back on fondly. So, you can really talk to Cody and reach out to him and help. I think this is a cry for help, and you can reach out to him and
I
help
cry for
him.
help because nothing's been done in almost 20 years.
Yeah, by joining our Discord, adding Cody
at
Decker,
most
at him in the Discord. And,
Middle school.
Yeah, and really just ask him as many questions as you want to ask. Really get to the root of it, get to the bottom of it. Yeah, I'd love to get to the bottom of it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna do it for another.
I don't do it.
I'm just happy it's not
volume
wet
done
food.
episode today. We
that'd be
got to the
disgusting.
bottom of Spy X Family, and no Wonder Circle today because we're gonna save that for our volume 1 that's gonna be coming out next week. And anything else we want to say before we get out of here?
Until next time.
I guess it is time to get out of here on our outro.
Until
That's always the same and
next
never
time. I couldn't
changes.
think
But
of
before we do, we do have to thank our lovely and beautiful and amazing and non-dog food eating Patreon
Or maybe they are,
members.
you don't know.
Nope. Patreon members, thank you guys so much. You're the fucking best. We love each and every single fucking one of you. Whether you guys eat dog food or not is really not
To
my
be
concern.
clear, I don't eat. I do eat Huel, which you also eat Huel, and
It's not the same.
it is basically human dog food.
And if you want to become a Patreon member, you go to patreon.com/volume1pod. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And now, what is that outro that's always the same and never changes?
Anya.
Keep us on your mind.
I like it.
Keep us on your mind.
I also like, a lot of your pitches were really good too. Who let the bomb?
Bond with Volume 1.
Okay,
But I like yours too. I mean,
Oh,
it's like,
who let the bombs
who
out?
let the bombs out? I really like.
and then we bark.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and until next time,
Who let the bombs out?
Now, were I to say that I wasn't excited that Hugh was essentially dog food for me?
Oh, I thought he was gonna say I'm not excited that you just exposed me.
No, that was a
dog.
plus.
No, legitimately, when I found out about Hugh, I was like, oh, this is
Unacceptable way to eat dog food.
yes.